Stealing a client from the competition. That's the subject of sales tip number 10. Today, I'm going to share 4 steps I've used in my sales career with great success. I'm Pro Sales Guy Dave Warawa.
Sales Tips with Pro Sales Guy Dave Warawa. Like, subscribe, and set your notifications to all.
Stealing a client from the competition can be a difficult task that can take a long time. Every professional salesperson has faced this opportunity. Today, I'm going to give you my strategy that works nearly every time. However, be prepared to invest a great deal of time and effort. It's like running a marathon, not a sprint. While sometimes your timing might be lucky and you might steal a client quickly, let's deal with the most difficult of situations, shall we? Let's say you're pursuing a client that has a deep-seated, long-time relationship with your competitor. You know this client fits right in the hub of your ideal customer profile, and you suspect has a larger than average budget. I'm sure you could picture one of your prospects right now. Here are my 4 steps. Step number 1. Analyze the client's digital footprint. That includes a detailed analysis of their website and company profile on LinkedIn, if they have one. Don't just glance at the first page of their website. Read through each area of the navigation bar. Look for something that might align well with your product or service. Many companies have established a company page on LinkedIn that might provide a nugget of information. A good example is the number of employees. That is public information on their profile. Generally speaking, multiply the number of employees by $250,000 to estimate your prospect's total sales volume for the year. I've always found that figure to be a great guide to overall revenue. Do a Google search on the company. Read through everything from pages 1 to 3. I assure you, you'll be asking better questions at your next face-to-face meeting. If you want to steal a client from the competition, you must do your homework in call preparation. Step number 2, get a face-to-face appointment with the buyer. This may not be an easy task, especially if they're happy with their current supplier. If the buyer tells you that, acknowledge it and suggest a meeting to mutually exchange information. Suggest that it's always good to know what other suppliers are doing in the market. Your chances of getting the appointment are much greater when the purpose of the meeting is to simply talk and get educated, not move their business. Step number 3, position your company and product in the face-to-face meeting. Once you ask surface-level questions to gain rapport and credibility, you will eventually get to the topic of your competition. Take the high road. Always be respectful. Never say anything negative about their current supplier, even if it's true. You will lose big time if you throw mud because it has no credibility based on the setting. Don't ask questions like, are you happy with your current supplier? They probably are. And then what do you say? I always ask this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the experience of dealing with your current supplier? No buyer has ever said 10 to me. They might say 7 or 8. Great, be honest. Tell them that's good. No wonder you deal with them. Ask them this question. What would it take to move that number higher? If they say 7 initially, you say 8. Be aware that the buyer might say something like, lower prices. Just smile and move on. Asking the question that way always opens the door to a better conversation. They might say better access to products, a more streamlined ordering system, or a website that accepts online orders. This is where the door opens to have a discussion on how your company approaches those challenges. Ask the buyer questions like, does your current supplier ever run into supply issues, or do you ever entertain competitive quotes? What you're trying to do here is respect their number 1 supplier and attempt to become number 2 in their eyes. You're waiting for the competition to make a mistake, have a problem, change their rep, or disappoint the buyer in some way. That is the open door for you. I've even told buyers that I appreciate their loyalty to their current supplier. I'm wondering if they'd be open-minded to considering me to be their number 2 supplier. That starts with a first order. Expect it to be small. The buyer will test you and your company before making a large purchase. Obviously, treat every order with the respect it deserves. Virtually all large clients start with a small first order. And step 4, service the client better than the competition. If you want their business, you must earn it, and that means working harder than the other salesperson. If you do this with persistence and delayed gratification, you will see an increase in their buying. You just don't know when. That's why you must follow up regularly and be vigilant. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section of this video. Next week, we'll talk about clients shopping your proposal or quote. Subscribe, set your notifications, and don't miss out.
If you like today's sales tip, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and set your notifications to all to make sure you get the next one.